Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Reserved Investments. And for my video game collectors out there, especially those of you that are crazy kooks who collect factory sealed or graded games, this video is for you. And I even brought along some examples because today what we are going to be talking about is VGA has decided to change their grading scale. VGA is not only keeping their original 100-point grading scale, but they're also introducing a new 10-point unified grading scale to compete directly with PSA grading, which is formerly WADA Games, and also CGC, because both those companies use a 10-point grading scale. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. First of all, I think that it's great, and this is the positive, that a lot of these companies are adopting a similar grading scale. It makes it easier for newcomers coming into these markets. If they're beginning collectors, they don't have to learn multiple grading scales and what the details of those grading scales entail. Case in point, I remember back when I started this YouTube channel, one of the things that I was amazed about was the amount of people that were adopting WADA third-party grading for video games, not understanding that WADA's grading scale at the time, because they started using a 10-point grading scale, was completely different than that of VGA's. So you had people that were thinking that a VGA graded 85 game was equivalent to a WADA Games 8.5. That is 100% false. Even today, the grading scales do not match up in that regard. You cannot look at a 100-point grading scale, compare it to a 10-point grading scale, and think it transitions perfectly. They do not align. Now, this is where we're going to get a little bit technical in this video, because one of the things that VGA announced was there is a conversion chart for games that are graded using the old grading scale. And if you're wondering what I'm holding up here, these are very cheap games. These are factory sealed Pokemon Nintendo 3DS games. This is Ultra Moon Pokemon. This is Ultra Sun Pokemon, and they're both in 85 condition. And I chose these for a specific reason, simply because it proves my point as to why I have a problem with this grading scale. Now, before we go any further, I am going to put a link in the video description that has all of this information so that you can see the new grading scale and how they're handling the conversion of the 100-point grading scale to that of this new 10-point grading scale. Now, here is my concern. According to this conversion chart, which is directly available on the website, there's going to be a link in the video description below if you want to follow along. A current 85 graded VGA game is going to translate to a 9.2 condition game on the 10-point grading scale. Now, just think about that. You have an 85 condition game. If you send it in for it to be converted to the new grading scale, it's going to automatically come back a 9.2. Now, here is my problem without pulling any punches. If you notice on both of these games, underneath the grade where it says 85, it specifically says Near Mint Plus. Here's the problem that I have. On a 1 to 10 grading scale, a 9.2 is not a Near Mint Plus. A 9.2 is actually, we know this from comic book grading, a Near Mint Minus. So what you're telling me, VGA, is that I put my faith in your grading. You gave me a solid 85 on these games, which is technically a Near Mint Plus that you put right on the grading label. Now if I send them back to you and say, hey, I want you to convert this to a 10-point grading scale, you're going to punish me by giving me back 9.2s? I don't understand how this plays out. Now, it's very interesting because they also put the plus grades in the mix. So this is how this breaks down. An 85 is congruent to that of a 9.2 on the new 10-point grading scale. An 85 plus is a 9.4, which is standard near mint. A 90 is a 9.6. A 90 plus is a 9.7. Yes, we now have a 9.7 grade when it comes to VGA. A 95 is a 9.8. A 95 plus is a 9.9. And 100 is a 10. Now, I have some concerns here because here we are. We originally assigned certain games an 85, which at the time meant that they were near mint plus. Now you're telling me that they're near mint minus. This really doesn't jive with me. And what really scares me is there are no plans, from what I understand, to do this. But if they start applying this to AFA, graded toys, action figures, and play sets, that coveted 85 near mint plus Star Wars figure that somebody paid thousands of dollars for, now technically, under this grading scale, it's a 9.2. It's a near mint minus. So you can see this has the collecting community kind of divided on this. On one end of the spectrum, you have people that are really happy with this. They think it's great that a lot of what VGA is doing here is putting them in line with what PSA grading, formerly WADA, and also CGC is doing. But there's concerns from my end where I know people that have spent thousands upon thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not in certain cases, six figures, on items that were graded by either VGA or AFA that they were told were in near mint plus condition that are now going to only be near mint minus. So I really have to see how this plays out, but it's quite concerning for collectors, investors, and even to a lesser extent, dealers that are playing in this market where we really have to see what's going on behind the scenes first. Because in all honesty, I really wish that VGA wouldn't have released this conversion chart. I honestly wish they would have said, hey, if you have something that's graded that is under the old scale, the 100-point scale, which they're still using, by the way. You can still choose to get your items graded under the 100-point scale if you opt to, rather than do the 10-point scale. But what they should have did was they should have said, hey, if you send your items in, we'll review them case-by-case basis. It shouldn't have been across the board where an 85, again, that has near mint plus right on the label, now these are 9.2s. That's not near mint plus on a 1 to 10 point grading scale. This is a problem that I have. And I really hope that VGA issues a statement before they go through with this, because it is creating havoc where there are people that have reached out to me, even clients of mine, that have said, Sean, I don't understand this. I've been buying solid 85s, 85 pluses, and now they're telling me these games, even though it has near mint plus on the label, these items are not near mint plus. So what the hell did I buy? Why did I choose to get my stuff graded through VGA at this particular point in time? So it really brings a lot of questions into the fold that need to be answered before this is readily adopted and ready to launch. And I honestly wish that somebody at VGA would have taken a step back and looked at this and said, you know what? We've already put out a lot of products with near mint plus on the label, along with the grade 85. We really should reconsider this. So in all honesty, there's a lot of serious collectors that are going to be hurt by this, especially, once again, if this expands into AFA graded toys, action figures, proof cards, which I go after. Now we have a problem because I have proof cards that are graded AFA 85 that I had assumed were near mint plus. If you're now telling me those are near mint minus, I don't know how that's going to reflect on secondary market values, because now people are going to be seriously scrutinizing even the coveted 85 grade for toys, action figures, and the like if they go in this direction. Now, to be fair, I just want to make this very clear. It doesn't appear to me as of yet VGA, or the parent company, CGA, is going to be extending this into the AFA grading category at present time. I did reach out to them through Facebook, and they did respond that at present time, this is only applying to VGA. But still, if this does extend in the AFA, you're going to have toy collectors. You're going to have serious investors in that market really upset with this company for doing this. So I just want to give my thoughts on this. Again, I could be making a mountain out of a molehill here if VGA has a plan to deal with this, which they may very well have. But I'm really concerned when I see on their site that they already have a conversion chart where if your items are 85, they're automatically a 9.2. If they're 85 plus, they're automatically a 9.4. If they're in 90 condition, they're automatically a 9.6. I have a problem with the way they set this up. It's like they really didn't think this through for the investors, for the collectors out there that have already sunk a significant amount into these items that they were assuming with their 100-point grading scale were already in near mint plus condition. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, I will put a link to their website that shows the new grading scale and also the conversion chart in the video description below. Thank you for watching. If you are subscribed, I will see you in another upcoming video. If you are not subscribed, so help you God. Thank you.